What's going on, everybody? So I'm sure you guys are probably getting kind of annoyed with all the 1911 videos lately. But don't worry, it's the last one. So I went out to the range today to kind of conclude my testing of the Canuck 1911. And I figured I'd tell you guys how she did. So I went out with a total of 300 rounds of ammunition this time. Last time I went out with 150. You guys saw it the last video, for those of you who are interested. Saw that the gun was having some problems. Obviously, what most people would call break-in problems. I also decided to spice it up a bit by changing out some of the ammunition, because the majority of what I ran is this stuff right here. Just the Wolf 45 ACP, just the factory spec reloads from Wolf. So I was curious, it might have been the ammunition or it could have been just a break-in, so I was like, let's find out. So I picked up 100 more rounds of the Wolf 45. I picked up 100 rounds of the Blazer 45 and 100 rounds of the Federal Champion 45. Expensive. I hope people at least appreciate this, because 45 ACP ammo in Canada is not cheap. So I actually bought some different brands, including S&B, some of the more expensive stuff, to see how this gun works. So I hope people appreciate that. But that's not what you're interested in, is it? You guys are interested in how the gun worked. So I decided to put it through its paces. I did 300 rounds non-stop. Like, I got the gun very hot, and that's not something I actually really like to do. You see all those people do those 500 round, 1,000 round torture tests. I mean, to each them their own, but I don't like to run a gun that hard, personally, especially without any sort of a break or a cooldown period. But curiosity got the better of me, so I did 300 rounds non-stop through this gun. I didn't go out with any other guns. There was nobody else with me. I do apologize, I didn't get any filming in. But it was just me, so I had my speed reloader. As soon as I ran the mags dry, reloaded them. As soon as I ran the mags dry, reloaded them. I did not give this gun any sort of a break. And also what I did was I picked up more magazines. So I bought 3 additional mags. These are Elander mags. Let's see if I can show you guys if the light works. Camera to focus here. Elander 8-round mags. Made in Israel. I've heard good things about Elander. I hear they're a fairly good mag. They're also very affordable, with $25 a pop. So not bad. So I was curious how they might work compared to the Mekgar mags. But yeah, so what I did was I did the Federal Champion first. Now this gun has seen a total of 450 rounds exactly. When I first went out, put 150 rounds through it, had some problems, figured it was a break-in. Now it's got 450 because I put 300 additional rounds through it of the each. So to get us started, I started with the Federal Champion. I loaded up all 5 mags of this specifically. I was going to run each of them in a row kind of thing. Well, let me show you. The very first 3 rounds. Does anybody see the issue? No? Well, let me grab this is a normal 45 ACP. This is one of the ones that had some issues. There's a bad one. Anybody else see that? As soon as I closed the slide, the bullet nosedived right down into the feed ramp and pushed it right deep into the casing. That happened to all 3 of the first rounds. I thought maybe it was the mag, so I tried all 3 of the Elander mags. And the first round of all 3 mags sank. Some worse than others. So I was discouraged. I was like, okay, well maybe it's the magazines. So I tried out the Mekgar magazines. Same issue. But the bullets themselves did not sink. They just nosedive in. They didn't sink into it. So a little discouraged. So I decided to troubleshoot it a little bit. I tap racked it and nothing was working. So what I did was I just piped the round. So I just took the round and I actually just put it right into the chamber. closed it, then inserted the magazine. Here's the funny thing. Ran flawless. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck? So I put all 5 magazines of the Federal Champion first, flawless. So after the first 3 little issues, ran great. Ran the rest of the other 100 rounds through it, not an issue. Like not even, like nothing. So then I was curious. I was like, okay, so maybe the magazines just needed, I don't know, some kind of a little break-in, just something to work them in or what, I don't know. So then I switched to the Blazer aluminum case. Now this stuff, you generally hear a lot of complaints about because it's usually very underpowered. Because the casing is so much lighter than brass case, sometimes it tends to stovepipe. Nothing. Exact same thing as the Federal Champion. Not an issue. When I was running this, no failure to feeds, no failure to extracts, no failure to ejects, nothing. The gun ran 100% for all 100 rounds. And again, I wasn't letting the gun cool down. I wasn't stopping to lubricate it. I wasn't anything. Like, as soon as it ran dry, I reloaded it and kept firing it. So I was like, okay, maybe I was just having trouble with the wolf ammo. So I loaded up 100 rounds of the wolf ammo. Take a wild guess. Flawless. The gun ran flawless for all 350 rounds, nonstop. Now the gun itself, this killed me to do this. So I really hope you guys appreciate this. But you can see she's still dirty. The lighting's not great, but give me a sec. I'll field strip this and show you guys. Sorry about that. So I'll show you guys how dirty this bad boy is. This really pained me to do this because I like to clean my guns while I'm at the range, just get it over with. You can see how dirty she is. But the gun ran flawless. So I know a lot of people are nervous because when they saw my first video, a lot of people were still holding off on buying one because of the issues of it jamming and things like that. 350 rounds inside of probably 20 minutes, nonstop. The gun was flawless. Like absolutely no issues whatsoever. Like it didn't even hesitate. So I got curious. You guys are going to love this. I was actually starting to get a little pissed off because I was running out of ammo. I was on my last 50 rounds of the Wolf, and the gun was running. So I was like, well, like, come on. So I purposely tried to get it to fail. I started putting the Mekgar mags in the sand, see if I could fill them up with a little bit of sand, see if I could get it to fail. And I don't like torture testing guns. I don't like doing that, but I figured for the purpose of education, you know, a lot of people are very nervous about buying these new 1911s. I wanted to really show people, or at least tell you how they work. And it's great. Like, I can't say enough good stuff about it. I mean, 150 rounds, the gun's fully broken in, at least as far as I'm concerned. Like, I had no malfunctions, and I'm going to reassemble the gun. I want to show you guys something real quick. Okay, sorry about the constant cuts back and forth. So as I was saying, I ran the gun really hard. I got it really dirty. I just screwed with it because I was intentionally trying to get it to fail. Eventually it got to the point where I'm literally holding onto the gun like this, just with my thumb, my middle finger, and my trigger finger. And I was trying to get the gun to limp wrist, just to get it to fail. Couldn't do it. 350 rounds was flawless. I'm extremely happy. I am extremely happy with the purchase of this gun and how well it's working. It had some issues at the start. It ate some, what's considered to be a real cruddy ammo, flawless. I even decided to spice it up a bit. I usually run frog lube as my lubrication, and a lot of people seem to not like me for that. So what I did was, before I went to the range today, I scrubbed all the frog lube out of it, and I just grabbed some Hoppies, or Outers, whatever the fuck this is, I don't know. This just came free in a kit I got. So I grabbed some of this and threw that on there. And I didn't even put a lot on. Like, I was actually quite light on the lube. I know 1911s usually like to run pretty wet, but it ran flawless. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys, I'm already dragging this video on way too long, but for those of you who watched my first 2 videos, you heard me complain about how the gun was sticky. Like, when I go to rack the slide, it was sticky. Well, check this out. I dropped a bullet. It is so much better. That whole part where you get to right about there and it sticks is gone. It is gone. Like, it's great. That's all I can say. If any of you are in the market for a good 1911 for an excellent price, you need to consider one of these guns. I'm so happy with the purchase, and I fully intend to continue to run this gun for a long period of time. But this is kind of the last update I'm doing. Unless the gun starts to develop problems or have some issues, you probably won't be seeing this gun again. So thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for hanging around, sticking with me while I constantly talk about the same gun over and over again. But sometimes it's good to be edumacated on occasion, eh? Right on. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time.